The election in Ontario is just days away, and there are some major issues facing the new premier, including the twin crises of housing and health care. And now, on top of all of that, a major storm cleanup. The Liberal leader, Stephen Del Duca, says he is up for the job. Del Duca is no stranger to Queen's Park, of course. He was the Minister of Transportation and Economic Development under Kathleen Wynne, and he was elected as Liberal Party leader in 2020. And good to welcome him into the studio today. Welcome to your morning.
It's great to be here. Thanks so much.
You were elected as Liberal leader of the Ontario Party, or of the Ontario Liberal Party, just before the pandemic. How do you think that affected your visibility as a leader?
Well, I think, first of all, look, it was tough for people right across Ontario as a brand new political leader, because it was about a week before the first lockdown that I became leader. That made some parts a little bit more difficult, but nothing compared to what people in this province had to go through. And we did successfully manage to really rebuild the party. That's why the candidates are working so hard. We have a great plan, paid off our party debt, and we're in this campaign having a ton of fun. And I feel really good about what's going to happen on Thursday.
You know, as we do during campaign time, we check in with a lot of voters. And some of what I'm hearing is, even though people may be frustrated with the Conservatives and with Premier Doug Ford, they also feel like they don't know you. And in a not a post-pandemic time, but sort of in the wave that we're in right now, people want a leader that they know and that they can trust going forward. So you got a couple days now before the election. What do you want people to know?
Well, I think what I'm hearing from people is a lot of momentum is gathering around the Ontario Liberal team, this new team that we put together. People are gravely concerned about Doug Ford's agenda for cuts to public health care, cuts to public education, the privatization agenda that he's been on for the last number of years. People are deeply concerned about that, plus the affordability crisis that so many families in this province are facing. And people know that Doug Ford does not have a plan to deal with that. Ontario Liberals do. That's why there is that momentum that is growing around our team that I'm really excited about. And I think come this Thursday, some people are going to be really surprised.
Even if they feel like that, if they feel frustrated with some of the things that you liked about the Conservatives, they feel still, they'll say, maybe their platform, but I don't know him as a leader. Can I trust him as a leader?
Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think it's about hard work. And I said this from the very beginning. I learned from my parents and grandparents, there are no shortcuts in life to success. You just have to keep your head down, your sleeves rolled up, keep working hard. That's why our plan, which is fully costed, it's forward-looking, it's caring and compassionate, will help Ontarians deal with the challenges that they're facing right now. The past 2 years have been brutally tough here in Ontario and beyond. People want to know they have a premier and a government that's on their side. They can see that in our plan. They can see that in our team. And again, I'm just working as hard as I can to earn trust and to keep that trust.
Doug Ford has pledged to build a new highway through York Region, something he says is going to reduce commute times by 30 minutes, which as a commuter sounds great. You say you're going to scrap Highway 413 if elected. Why?
Yeah, well, I was the transportation minister who stopped it the first time. I appointed the independent panel that showed it would cost billions of dollars and save very few commuters not much time at all. In fact, this number of 30 minutes, just not real. And I want to spend that money, your money and my money, instead in building up our public schools in Ontario, right across Ontario. GTA for sure, but 200 new schools, repair 4,500 others, so that our windows in our classrooms can actually open and close, that the air ventilation systems are rock solid so our kids are breathing clean air. That's what Ontario Liberals are focused on, not a multi-billion-dollar highway that's only going to make some of Doug Ford's richest friends even richer.
You brought up classrooms, and I'm glad you did, because a couple of the frustrated sectors in this province are teachers and nurses. These are both jobs that we held in very high regard during the pandemic. And yet, Doug Ford still seems to be the front runner in this campaign. Why has it been hard for your party and others to really gain a foothold against such a controversial premier?
Well, if you speak to a teacher, you speak to a nurse or any of their families, they're not on Doug Ford's side because they know that he has disrespected them and treated them so poorly during this pandemic. So Ontario Liberals will repeal Bill 124, which is this horrible wage capping legislation Doug Ford rammed through the legislature before COVID. We're going to cap class sizes at 20. We're going to hire up thousands of new teachers to make that happen. So when I'm talking to teachers, when I'm talking to moms and dads, my wife and I are raising 2 young daughters who attend publicly funded schools. That's what they tell me they want to see. More support, more investment for a world-leading public education system. This is personally important to me, and it's something that we will deliver on.
You are also living with the legacy of the past Liberal Party, of which you were part in this province, and the sentiment seems to be that they spent a lot of money. People feel very stung by that party. We're heading into a time where we're looking at rising inflation costs. Everything is costing more money.
It is true.
How do you convince people that the Liberals are not going to cost them more money?
Well, first of all, it's a new leadership, new team, and if you look at our plan, and it's the only plan that is comprehensive and also fully costed. So managing the public's finances in a responsible way is again, really important to me personally. That's why you can see laid out in our plan exactly how much we would invest every single year while we're making the choice to build up public education and public health care and support workers and small business owners, how we're going to get back to balance within 4 years. It is the best plan that's on offer right now because it's real. We haven't had to change it multiple times like the NDP. And unlike Doug Ford, we actually want to recognize that people in this province are struggling and need help. So our plan accomplishes both in a responsible and fully costed way.
All right, as I've said to all the leaders, good luck and good health to you in these last few days.
Thank you.
As we head up to Election Day. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.